I can't speak any more highly of how wonderful being a firefighter can be in your life, but also like what it can bring to you at the end of the day if you're seeking community, support, or a sense of belonging.
Volunteer firefighting is a great way to be involved and feel impact and know that you're making a difference in your community and the world. And that's something you can't get any other way.
This is a hustle worth having. Volunteer today.
I'm so hungry. Auntie?
Have you eaten yet?
Encounter with Kolda, who asked him to seal her again after she bestowed Leyland with her power. Even when they initially created Khalid, Kolda chose to be absorbed first and sacrifice herself so that Khalid could govern the other gods. Bella believes it is also time for her to be sealed now that Leyland is finally here to take care of Del. Plus, Purpla is on the loose plotting a scheme. While Bella is adamantly requesting that Del kill her and absorb her abilities, images of Stan's face begin to flash through her head. She shuts her eyes, expecting Del to seal her, but instead he casually points to her belly, announces that he can hear the baby's heartbeat, and even knows that Stan is the father, much to Bella's embarrassment. Del assures Bella before he leaves that he can handle Purpla with his power alone, and that he is well aware that Leyland does not want her to die either. Aw, our tough guy has really changed. Del begins to worry as he walks back to their room because he knows Leyland will want a kid as soon as she discovers Bella is pregnant. He wants to solo his wife for a while, by which he clearly means at least 2,000 years. My dear sir, I believe that is excessive for a honeymoon stage, but I'm not complaining. When Leyland wakes up in the middle of the night thirsty, Del advises making her own water and informs her that Kolda has actually passed her powers onto her. Del urges Leyland to join her hands, and she gets startled when he unexpectedly licks it, making water eventually gush out of her hands. Even after she stops the water, Del continues licking. The beast shows no sign of stopping, and they go on a sweet evening together. Del has also shared with her everything about Kolda, including how she gave away her powers to her and then was sealed. And Leyland can't help but be astounded at how much the gods love her. She still has no idea how to manage her water powers, and even now, when she takes a bath in the tub, she unintentionally purifies the water, making it crystal clear. They are now staying in a city close to the capital, and Leyland is stunned to find that Del bought the entire mansion for them. After getting back into their romantic groove, these two abruptly end it when Leyland receives a word that Stan has shown up at their place. Lay is the first to go, and she gets confused to find Stan and Bella in the corridor, both with long faces. Bella leaves the two to talk, but Stan doesn't have much to say to Leyland because he really just came to see Bella. So Del sneaks in through the window and starts bringing up Bella to get him to stop wasting Layla's time. Stan chokes on his tea and bolts before Del has a chance to finish. That's what you use the name together. He then kneels and proposes to Bella. My second parents! Bella starts blushing heavily, but because she didn't answer his proposal, Stan feels concerned and wonders if she doesn't feel the same way about him. They are then interrupted by our girl, who sneezes so loudly that they have no choice but to reveal themselves and retreat. After they've gone,
Planning for your family's future? Put it in the right hands with LegalZoom. It's too important to let it fall into the wrong hands. LegalZoom is the simple, affordable online solution for estate planning. If you need a will or trust, LegalZoom guides you through every step to ensure your loved ones and assets are protected. So if you need a legal hand, visit LegalZoom. LegalZoom provides access to independent attorneys and self-service tools. LegalZoom is not a law firm and does not provide legal advice.
Bella asks Stan to give her some space to think things over and ends their night. The next day, as they prepare to resume their trip to the capital, Bella requests some alone time with Leyland, and Del surprisingly agrees to let the two talk privately in the carriage. Who says Del won't accompany them, though? In fact, Del is lying down on the carriage roof casually so he can still hear them. This sneaky guy definitely does not want to be apart from his wife. Inside their carriage, Leyland discovers that Bella isn't opposed to the notion of marrying Stan, but her main concern is that she will be separated from Leyland when it happens. Lay promises her that even if she marries and they both have the same title, they will be able to work together and share projects for their respective regions, making Bella beam a smile and admit that she loves Stand. It appears like Leyland's support is all Bella really needs. However, what really shocks Leyland and makes Dell sigh is her discovery that Bella turns out to be pregnant. Get ready, lover boy. She can't believe all of her friends are getting pregnant, and she breaks into tears, convinced that there must be something wrong with her body because she shows no signs of becoming pregnant. When Bella realizes Dell is listening to them, she writes something on Layla's hand so he won't know and urges her to use Kolda's healing powers on Dell. Now Leyland believes Dell's body is the issue, and she's partially right because our guy is taking that contraceptive herb. At last, they have reached Dell's residence in the capital and are welcomed by Aiden, the old man butler. Oh, I didn't expect to see him again. Aiden is astounded to watch Dell, who has always had a violent air around him, transform into a softie in love. I know, right? Dell suggests they go get some sleep because Leyland is probably exhausted from their journey, but Leyland protests and insists that she isn't tired at all. They rush to their room where they share a passionate kiss, while Leyland starts to give Dell her healing water. It seems like we'll be seeing kids sooner than expected. After 3 days, Stand arrives at their estate, but Leyland is surprised when he brings the Emperor with him. Originally, she invited Stand so he could spend time with Bella, but the arrival of this Emperor, who is clearly lacking in up, which explains why he was so quick, much to Leyland's relief. Now that Dell has finished obeying her commands, the big gentleman requests his wife to reward him, which Leyland gladly does. On the next day, as they make their way to Stand's estate, they see the Cyclone's aftermath. Despite Dell's assurances that he can defeat Purpla, she can't shake the feeling that something terrible is about to occur. They have arrived safely, and Stand called upon them to ask Leyland to lend her powers to save the people in need. He goes further by saying that a medicine that has been circulating for a while, supposedly a panacea that can treat any disease, is referred to as the God of Stars' Tears. As a result of his study, he discovers that the medical water was discovered near the Margarita Palace, precisely near the valley stream. So he asks if she could also purify their well so they can help in the recovery of the wounded, to which Leyland gratefully agrees, but wonders how he knows all of this healing information. Stand appears shy because it is Bella who informs him of Leyland's abilities, but before they can continue with their discussion,
Leyland simply
the
suspects
Emperor
Purcell
comes in,
left to be
panicked
free of
that
him,
Purcell
to which
has
Dell and Stand
vanished.
nod in agreement.
However, they
People have lots of opinions when it comes to our bodies, our shapes, and how we dress. Since when is it anyone's business but yours? Ask your healthcare provider if Mirena, levonorgestrel-releasing intrauterine system, 52 milligrams could be an option for you. To learn more, head to Mirena.com. And to view the full prescribing information, visit Mirena-us.com/PI. That's Mirena-us.com/PI.
They realize that Asher might not be exaggerating after he informed them that Purcell would never abandon Mint, her daughter, only to avoid him. After that, Lay remembers Purcell telling her that she had a daughter and how she loved her. So Lay becomes serious and approaches Asher to inquire what really happened. Asher hasn't seen Purcell in a few days, but he went to her room last night to follow Leyland's advice to talk about Purcell's feelings one last time, and that's when he realized she's gone. Leyland starts to feel sorry, so she assures Asher that they will help him in his search and suggests that he stay with Mint, who may be worried by her mother's sudden disappearance. But Lay is so taken aback when Asher states that Mint has no consciousness or soul. The night when Asher found out that Purcell was violated, he burst into his brother's room and realized Purpla was controlling his brother's body. So Asher assumed Purpla did it, but he was so betrayed when he learned it was his conscious brother who molested his woman that he ordered Dell to kill him. Leyland is still confused with all the Purpla wanting a vessel, so Dell explains that Mint was born as a Purcell, which means a god's offering. Dell believes that Flamentha, who we all know as Purcell, made a bargain with Purpla to give him Mint's body in exchange for destroying the Gaishi Kingdom. However, because Mint is still at the palace, Dell suspects Flamentha has begged Purpla to take her body instead. Our guy is so on point. Asher's heart is breaking, and he can't believe he's been calling the love of his life Purcell when the word has always been a terrible connotation. All he wants now is for her to return safely, so he begs them to assist him in saving Flamentha. Dell then quickly tells everyone that he has found them, but as he continues, he passes out and falls to the floor. Everyone is stunned as Del collapses, and Leyland panics. Bella immediately checks on him and informs everyone that it's only a temporary jolt and that Purpola's power has left his body. Del owns almost all of Purpola's and Yed's power, but the two energies linked in a chaotic way, and now that Purpola has his own vessel, he swiftly grabbed his powers away, causing the energies supporting Del's body to entirely collapse. Despite this, Bella assures everyone that Del will be well and awake in 3 days. Concerned about Purpola's potential actions before Del awakens, Leyland sobs over the immense void that Del's absence causes. Outside their bedroom, she notices an unusual energy comparable to the nice scent that used to linger around Del. Leyland, intrigued, chooses to open her door to see what's going on, but is surprised to see that everyone is unconscious. It is only then that she realizes that Purpola is the one who put them all to sleep. Purpola approaches Leyland while in Flamentha's body.